Why do they even call themselves financial advisors? Why not just call them what they are? Investment advisors. So I just, I'm it's not a debate. I'm just mopping the floor with this guy who's well known in my industry. And it's so frustrating because I said, show me the evidence that retiree spending goes up with inflation. I want to see the evidence because I'm curious if there is it. I'm curious to see if I'm missing something. Like a lot of people who hire me, they don't hire me because I got all the answers. They just want to make sure they're not missing something. So a real nice couple there in Texas. They're fine. They're kicking butt and taking aim. I'm like, dudes, you guys got to spend more. Anyway, we went over the basic stuff. So they need to up their umbrella insurance. They need to make sure they have a durable power of attorney. They should start giving money to get it out of their estate. So not only is the money out of their estate, but the growth in the money is out of their estate. Their kids are young enough where they could use the money. Basic stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But yet, they just want to make sure they're not missing something. I 100% get it. That's what I'm looking at. What am I missing? I want to make sure. So when a guy makes a claim that retirees spending goes up with inflation, and inflation is 8%, so we better give retirees an 8% buffer or kick or whatever it is. I'm like, where's the evidence of this? Because, hold on a second. Because you're saying people have, basically his premise is people have a less ability to retire because of the issue of inflation. And higher inflation means less ability to retire. And I'm kind of putting words in. The debate is different than this. But I'm like, all right, well, what's your evidence? And his evidence is like, oh, have you gone to the gas station recently? I said, okay. So you can use the prices in gas over a course of month to month, your long-term inflation adjustment projections? That's freaking dumb, man. Now the price of gas is down, so we're going to give people, the whole thing is just so stupid. I mean, it's just stupid to say the month-to-month inflation rate, and he's not saying it, but I'm just like, his argument is the price of gasoline should indicate that people's spending goes up with inflation. Okay, so people's spending goes down, inflation is down because the price of gas is down? Literally, that's my point. My point is your inflation is personal, has nothing to do with CPI. And I'm telling you, man, investment advisors would know this if they freaking had any sense of freaking ability to look at evidence and research. But they spend so much time on investing. They're going to look at Harry Markowitz. Wow, Harry Markowitz. They're going to look at, the CAPM guy, Black-Scholes. These guys are so bored. They look at Schiller. Okay, fine. Throw in a Wellington, be done with it. We don't need to talk about Markowitz. We don't need to talk about Schiller. We don't need to talk about Black-Scholes. We don't need to talk. I'm missing another guy. It's not freaking banging. I'm missing another guys. Markowitz, Schiller, Black-Scholes. Black-Scholes are two different professors. So long-term capital management. And there's a couple others. But there's a guy in the late 60s, 70s too. It's not, what's his name over at Princeton. I'm not talking Siegel. It's not Burton Malkiel. Maybe it is a little bit, but it's not a Malkiel. There's another guy anyway who's well known in the Markowitz area. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, all that stuff we can just put aside for 2 seconds. Throw it in the Fidelity Balance Fund, throw it in Wellington, I don't care. Throw it in one of these funds, be done with it. And then my man Kevin said he puts 30% in cash. And do something like that, you're fine. You don't have to worry anymore about this. But we do have to worry about projecting. If you want to do projecting future rates of return, we look at the Bogle models. Year-over-year earnings growth plus dividend yield, done and done. That's it. All right. So we got these two things going. We got investment rates of return, Bogle models, and that's based on projections. And again, my projections are about 6.5 for stocks. All right. Bonds are easy. Current yield on bonds, that's it. No more, no less. And then we have and then we just put a Wellington. We don't have to worry about in terms of the free lunch of diversity. The whole thing's stupid. Now we're done. But if you look at these, there's like 60 comments. 56 or 55 are dedicated towards investing returns, sequence of returns, the best way to maximize your portfolio, index annuity. The whole thing. I'm like, And like 5 are based on spending, and all 5 come from me. Or attributed, I'm part of those 5. Because spending is all that matters. And then my spending is, all right, so if we're going to use inflation as a way for retirees to say you're going to model your spending on inflation numbers, what are those numbers? CPI. Okay, do you have any idea how CPI is calculated? Any idea how it's calculated? Yeah, well, why would you use CPI then? It's freaking stupid. It's stupid. Well, your gas prices are gone up. And then he said, oh, I can't really debate somebody who says there is no inflation. I don't say there's no inflation. I'm saying using short-term price volatility is not a way to use long-term inflation numbers when I don't see any evidence that retiree spending goes up with inflation. I see evidence 100% on the opposite. As people age, their spending goes down, regardless of inflation. Now, they're spending on apples. The price of apples might go up, but their spending on the price of going to see the freaking Cowboys goes down. You see what I'm saying? So the things that they buy goes up with inflation, but the overall scheme of things, which is all that matters, goes down because they get older. They don't do the same stuff they did when they're first retired. So to base a retirement plan based on the idea CPI is your model for increasing inflation-adjusted spending, where is the flipping evidence? It makes me want to cuss, and I don't want to cuss. Cussings are weak words. Cussing is a weak word. It's for what weak people do for weak words. If you cuss, that's fine. I'm not yelling at you. You're not a weak person if you cuss. Cussing is a weak word. You should find a better word. I'd still say frickin' and friggin' and flippin' because I don't want to cuss. Anyway, be it as it may, it makes me want to go down that road and say, oh my goodness, why can't people pull their head out of their behind? And so finally I just had to say, dude, I bash the economics industry for their physics envy. I bash the physics industry for their math envy, but I've defended for 25 years the financial advisory business because there are a lot of fine financial advisors. Unfortunately, it is more revolving around investing by far than it is around the actual thing that matters, which is spending. Spending is what drives your ability to retire. I don't care how much flipping money you have. I care about how much money you spend at. That's what matters. You're going to go out there, big guy? Right. Until we get to spending, everything else is moot. That's just all there is to it. So spending is chief importance. So our spending model then inherently is chief importance. Our spending model is based on what exactly? I spend $40,000 today. I spend $41,500 next year if we have a 3% inflation or whatever it is. Yeah, something like that. 41,200 next year if we have a 3% inflation. Okay, what's the evidence of this? What's the evidence that I'm going to do that? Literally, show it to me. And if well-known financial advisor gurus, thought leaders have no evidence other than to take pot shots at me, but yet we're going to talk all day long about investments. I'm just like, where's our business going to? We have a lot of work. We're devolving, I guess. Is that the right word? Like NASA science. We have less NASA technology today than we did in 1969. The only technology in all mankind that has actually went backwards in time is NASA, or space technology, I should say, not just NASA specifically. Every other technology has done what's the guy's name? I forgot the guy from Stanford or Hewlett Packard or something like that. The Brown, where it doubles every 18 months or something like that. I've always challenged that. But anyway, everything has risen exponentially except for space technology. And then financial planning, because financial planning stuff, we talk about investments all the time. Investments. And then I say, give me some evidence. And the funny thing is he says, well, the kid says retirement spending smile. The kid says David Blanchett, and I think Wade did that too. And I'm a fan of all three of those gentlemen, all three of them. I think they're wrong based on my own evidence, but at least they provide some evidence about where they're getting the numbers from. I think their evidence is wrong. My evidence I like, and that's fine. We can debate that. That's what debate is. Here's my evidence. Here's your evidence. Let's come up with an idea of which evidence is better. That's how it works. I don't take pot shots at Blanchett. I love Blanchett. He and I have emailed a number of times. I interviewed Wade Fowle on my podcast. Talked to Kitsets a number of times. I don't take pot shots at them just because I don't agree with their assessment on the retirement spending smile. I call the retirement spending fish hook. Jeez, man. But even that, why do they call it the retirement spending smile? Because their spending goes down. A smile comes back up. So what is called logical fallacies? I don't even know. All right, love your thoughts. Anyway, if you're hiring a guy and the first thing he does is want to friggin' jump up and down about your investments, get the hell out of Dodge. So damn frustrating. All right, we'll see you.